May I ask what IEMs those are? So these ones here are Campfire Audio Andromedas. Mine are kind of all banged up. I've had these for a long time now. They're one of probably my most used IEMs and the IEMs I keep going back to. And the reason why is I think they're the most solid build quality I have on any IEM I've ever used. Straight up. I've had other IEMs that have just like died. And this is the IEM I keep coming back to. Let's take a look at this keyboard because I think this keyboard's actually kind of unique looking. We're gonna be using some, I had like one batch of prototype switches from KBD fans left still, so I'm gonna use those that I've already have kind of lubed. I always get so nervous taking these things out of the package here. So this is the Duo M. I like it because it actually has a scroll wheel opposed to a knob. I'm just gonna point out that scroll wheels are way more functional than knobs to me. But it's actually quite a nice looking keyboard. Here's the back. The price point on this is actually kind of nice too. I think it's around 350. I don't know what the exact conversion from the Singapore dollars is to this. I think it's about 330 to 350, but it has a nice side profile as well. And then the other really cool thing too, if you guys are interested, is an exploded 75 with a scroll wheel and not a knob, which is kind of a nice change of pace. But 75 looks pretty cool too. Again, has a lot of interesting aesthetic choices to it and not a bad price. Metro might match this. I don't have Metro. I need to get Metro still. But yeah, this is not a bad looking board. Again, I kind of like the side profile. It's kind of different, right? Kind of like that 3-piece construction going on almost. I think it's 3-piece. We'll take it apart and find out. Scroll wheel's such a good idea. To me, it's just a lot more natural to use than a knob. So I'm always here for a scroll wheel. As you guys can kind of see, this will go sit in the inside. But this project kind of caught my eye. I like different designs of things, and this isn't your traditional side profile, and I guess 75, which is kind of nice. That's kind of why I appreciate this a little bit more. I think that's everything in here. Actually, I like the color of the case too, the orange on the inside. I'll take it. We have our USB daughter board there, and then I think this is, I actually don't know, I've never seen this before. So I believe this little piece here will be soldered onto the PCB, I want to say. I know it's a hot swap PCB. We have some, I'm assuming, gaskets, some spring things, and then some screws. Ooh, today's going to be an interesting build. Oh, baby, no flex cuts. I like it. Interesting. So this goes here. Sorry guys, I've never seen or I've never had to install something like this before. So this is going to be a fun day today. We get to try something new. Oh, that's satisfying. I don't know if you guys, I don't think you guys can hear this, but. All right, PCB pretty standard for this. Hot swap does not have very many options at all, which is not a big deal, but we'll probably lube the stabs first. And then we'll get into assembling this. This should be a fun build today. Now I gotta figure out how this thing works. So I'm guessing this just gets put into this. I think this just gets put into this thing. And then we gotta solder it down. So let's do that now. I solder at 420 because it's a funny number. That's kind of hot though, isn't it? That's like an insanely hot number to solder at. I know it's easy. Should be good for that. I didn't put too much solder. That looks pretty straight as well. That's kind of neat. All right. This is kind of fun. I've never done this before. Gonna be honest, guys, I have no idea what this is. I don't know. Force brake tape? Oh, that might be force brake tape. Oh, that's kind of a cool addition to have. Yeah, I don't have anything about it. Dampening strips? Are these considered dampening strips? Oh, they're dampening strips. Should we put them on? Saw a YouTube video. They're dampening strips. Interesting. We'll use them. Why not? Should try it with and without the strips later. Should we try without and with? I don't see how these would help much other than, you know, expanding the case so it doesn't click together, but I'd be curious to try with and without. Helps with the pinging of the board. Ah, interesting. Oh gosh. We're done this. So next up, let's actually open this thing up a little bit. Also, at the Toronto meetup, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm thinking, I'm gonna talk to Vince about it. Oh, other news. Let me figure out one train. I don't know, I'm scatterbrained today. We're doing Vince actually approached me, Apex Keyboards approached me. I'm helping design the GMK cap that's gonna be given away at the meetup. I don't wanna spoil anything for you guys, but we already finished it. I actually had a crazy good idea today for the meetup keycap. So I'm hoping that it all gets approved, but it'll be a fun little novelty keycap. It's very Canadian, so it'll be fun, man. No one try guessing, because I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is. So this is a 3-piece case. Do I need to take this piece off? I assume so for the daughter board. Okay, so let's actually take this off too. We'll use the play tray today. If you guys end up subbing and want me to spin the ball on this thing, I will do that for you guys. Just remind me. So this gets mounted underneath this. Damn, there are a lot of pieces for this. Kind of cool actually, because this is still like, so I'm just moving this over here for the time being. This is still like not an expensive keyboard. Not super expensive anyways. I still think $300 in the $300 range is still a little bit pricey, but honestly, not bad. One of the things I told myself coming into this year was to minimize the space that I work in. Because I do think it's really important. I do think like working in a clean environment's super, super important, dude. It boosts my mood. Honestly, clean and organized workspace is so calming. Yeah, dude, another thing I want to do too is start shadow boxing things. Or shadow, I don't remember what they're actually, what the term is, but it's where you have an outline of things are supposed to go. That's a task that I have for myself soon too. Dampening strips. So these just get placed on the top. I think I am gonna put in the dampening strips, guys. We'll start with these. For some reason, these look like they're gonna be a bit of a pain in the ass to put in. All right. Yeah, I don't know where some of these go actually. I actually thought this would be way more difficult to install these things, but it's actually not terrible. Maybe this side will be more difficult. Oh, do these long ones go on the side? They do on the side here. That makes sense. Oh, springs is next. And then we got to fit in the knob thingy. What an interesting keyboard this is. Kind of fun to build this. How strong are these springs? I wonder what kind of typing feel this is going to give. So these go in here. So if you guys are kind of following what I'm doing right now, we're putting springs inside the keyboard. These little springs here. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Any recommendations for keycaps? The red Luna 80? Beige. 100% beige with red always looks fantastic. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And then this just gets put into this, like so, and leans onto this. Oh. Whoa. That's kind of neat. All right, let's screw this together. No foam in this kit either. I like the confidence. Hoping this board sounds good with no foam. Whoa. Holy smokes, this thing is kind of neat though. I like the idea they're going for with this. I like the vertical scroll wheel as well. That's kind of cute. All right. Does this thing have flex cuts? Nope. I wonder how this is gonna sound though. Hot damn, this thing is bouncy, boy. Dracula on it. I think I have Dracula on something else. Do I? But I'd be willing to take it off for you guys today. Let me get it. This is nice. I like this vertical scroll wheel a lot more than an actual knob. That is so much more natural to use. Yeah, it's so much nice. Okay, I can't help but notice it has a very unique, I want to say, resonance to it. I don't know if you guys are picking up that very subtle, like, interesting resonance. No click on this. It's kind of carried over into the spacebar as well. I do think a very, very thin layer of case foam at the very bottom, which I don't think there was any foam in this. Let me double check. No. Probably a very thin layer. Yeah, we did use the force brake that comes with it. Okay, I almost feel like the springs are doing it a bit of a disservice, but I mean, like, it's really nice to type on. You can bind this to different things. Honestly, Sheepy, I've had one other keyboard with this, and I bound it to something for Photoshop. And I really appreciated the scroll wheel more than the knob in doing this motion, and just kind of like moving my hand and doing this. That's why I kind of personally liked it. Because a lot of the times when I'm in Photoshop as well, like, this will be bound to something, and then this can be bound to something different. But you can bind this to other things. Usually, I don't know how compatible this is with Via and whatnot, but something about muted blues. Hold on, I want to open this up one more time. You know what I think would probably help with this a little bit more too is probably a bigger weight on the bottom. But I think it's missing a certain something, if you guys know what I mean. Feeling-wise, amazing though. I really like the idea of the springs inside there. I do applaud them for at least trying something new, but I just want to see what else I can do inside this to make this sound even better. Where I think it's starting to fall a little short is the springs, really. You know what it also could be too? Could be maybe the FR4 plate's not really a great fit for this board. Maybe something softer would be a little bit nicer of a fit for this. Very thick gasket, but if this doesn't work, you know what else I think might help a lot too? We can put in maybe a Band-Aid or something, some sort of fabric. If these gaskets are a little too thick, which they might be. I think these might be a little bit too thick. I think this might raise the height a little too much. Actually, no, we seem okay. Does that sound a little nicer? I personally think this sounds a lot different now. At least the bottom row does. Yeah, I kind of like this. It's very comfortable to type on. Even with these gaskets I put on, which I think I would probably shave those in half. I don't have any other things I could use. This is cool too though. The scroll wheel is nice. The top and bottom row. Yeah, there's a bit of hollowness in the top row. That's where I think, because there's a lot of pieces to this, and I think there's some hollow spaces near the bottom. I do think one singular piece of foam on the bottom of the keyboard. It's still in its stock config. I know we did put gaskets there, which isn't really a huge change up, but I'd still like to see maybe them add something like that. Not bad at all. I don't think this is a bad keyboard. Not feeling this, that's totally fine. I think feeling wise, this is quite soft, very, very soft, which I think a lot of people probably prefer. I will probably suggest to them to add a piece of foam or something on the bottom of this keyboard. I think that's kind of needed, but overall, like, not a bad looking keyboard. I like the effort that went into at least trying something different in this. I think that's definitely to be applauded there. So I do like this side profile. The side profile is kind of cute. Is the scroll wheel buttery? It's pretty smooth. It's very, very smooth. No resistance, nothing like that. I do think one single piece of foam, because I do think this is just aluminum on the bottom. You can kind of see it's a bit hollow. So one singular piece of foam on the bottom should help that. I know they're probably trying to keep the price point down. I would either say a denser weight material or a piece of foam on the bottom should help clean up some of that sound profile. Thoughts on the cloud line? Okay, now that I built the cloud line a total of 3 times so far, I now can conclude the best sounding cloud line 100% comes from using a polycarbonate or polypropylene or polyethylene, so PP, PE, whatever P plate you want to use. Keyboard kit with Polyfill? Yeah. Who's done it? Canon Keys has done it. They've included Polyfill in their keyboards. Smart move. It's super cheap. I mean, hell, you can buy a pack for like 10 bucks, and this is how big the pack is. You'll never run out of it. I've had this for so long, and I've kind of like thrown it in keyboards that I'm like, oh, I just want a touch of the deepness that Polyfill like provides. Yeah, this is so much better now. Dude, got you, dude. Yeah, this is so much better now. It's pretty cool. Like, I would probably use this, like I said. I think it even has perky RGB too, which, oh gosh, that's so bright. Actually, that's pretty nice. I don't care for perky. I think this looks a little bit silly. But some people really like this, so that's up to them. I don't care for it though. Does this scroll wheel work? Oh, this is a bad example. I think this needs to be flashed or something. Yeah, this doesn't work right now. Keyboard works though. Yeah, I think I need to flash this. I don't know if I need to, but my RGB phase is over. I think a lot of people do. It's a scroll wheel actually. The RGB Fantasy. I do like the way it sounds now with the Polyfill. Much better. It looks much better with the RGB turned off, yeah. Again, my suggestions to the team behind the Duo M, add a little bit of extra foam here, because I don't think they're going to add a denser weight on the bottom, which is probably the culprit of what's causing a little bit of that resonance. You know, having an all aluminum weight is not conducive to a very full sound. And then I would suggest, again, just some pads to put over those springs on the inside. Because the way I have it right now, those really thick springs, slightly killed some of the bounciness of this. But I don't have anything else to test it with, unfortunately. What's the weight made of? It kind of looks like alu. I don't know if it's exactly alu, but... which key mat am I using? I don't know, I'm just using a small one right now. Sounds actually really good on just the desk, too. I love the spacebar. Love you guys, and talk to you guys very, very soon. Bye-bye.